Hey guys, it's me, Space Jelly here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Trunks Infinite Latent Superpower. That's what it says on the box, as you can see. I'm gonna take a look at it really quick. It's basic S.H.Figuarts, except it's kind of like a teal, cyan blue, and stuff like that. Photos of the figure. Figure looks way better in the photos, of course. And also, I wanted to just show off really quick that the instructions seem to be on the box this time. You can see right there how to swap the arms and stuff, and then the other one has instructions on how to swap the faces and stuff. So yeah, the box is alright. Good for inbox collectors if you're one of those. It has a vent on top. So, whatever. Let's get into the figure. He stands, gonna start off with inches this time. Bottom of his shoe, top of his head around 5.5 inches. Kind of short, which makes him about a little under 14 centimeters. So that's just to the top of his head right there, not really to the top of his hair points. This is him next to Kit Bash. It's his S.H.Figuarts Goku. I think it's relatively close in scale, you can see there. And then here he is next to the Dragon Ball Super Evolve line or whatever Vegeta that I reviewed. I don't think you can make this work. Use some foreshortening, it might work, but I don't know. And just for fun, here he is next to Ultra Magnus. So yeah, he's kind of small, but I think that's accurate. I don't think he's supposed to be as tall as Goku or as short as Vegeta. He's supposed to be somewhere in between. So I'm not really too worried about that. I also wanted to talk about his accessories because he comes with a semi-decent amount. 2 fist hands. He comes with these 2 clenchy. Let me just focus on these. These 2 clenchy blast hands, I guess. And then these 2 hands that are also in that same position. He comes with these though, and I want to talk about these because I don't think the crossed arms are really necessary, and it's kind of like a waste of plastic and stuff, because on this guy, you can very easily just put his arms in a crossed position. So I really don't know why they would add that. They could have easily just added like a blast effect or a flight stand or like anything of the sort, but whatever. He also comes with 3 face plates, the one he has on now, which is just a stern looking face. And he has this one, which is more angry, and this one where he's yelling. So it's an okay amount of accessories, but like I said, they really didn't need this one. They could have easily just put something else in, since you can already just do this pose. So, I don't know, kind of a strange decision, but I don't think this line is any stranger to strange decisions. Alright, so we're gonna do a more closer look. And I also wanted to ask, I guess this could be like a question of the day, do you like the metallic hair or when it's painted matte? I'm kind of indifferent. I think they both work. This one kind of makes it stand out a bit more, but I think that when they're painted matte, the paint looks more cohesive and it looks better. But if you want them standing out more, this also looks pretty cool to me. So I guess leave down in the comments below what you would prefer on your S.H.Figuarts. Now, the colors on him are actually pretty good. I tried to get the lighting as close as possible to real life. In real life, right now, he kind of is a little bit more pale in the blue and in the brown spots. The white is pretty close. I think that's just how it looks. you can see the painting isn't that bad. The faces are done very well, better than previous ones. You can kind of see here with the normal Goku face paint and this new Trunks. He kind of has more shape, more definition to the eyes and stuff. Not really as soft, so that's pretty cool. And the proportions are, I don't know, they're not really my favorite. I'll talk about this again. With this little figure right here that's only 10 bucks, he kind of has better proportioning around the torso region than this Trunks does. And they're essentially just the same armor. You can see here his chest is wider, his shoulders are wider, just stuff like that. Waist is smaller. The Trunks kind of has like this pot belly going on, and then there's another issue with that. I don't know if you can see it, but right here, let me try to focus. He has a bunch of blemishes on him, and he did have blemishes on him when I took him out, and as soon as I started posing him, the paint chipped off him. I don't know if that's just due to, like, if that's just my part, but if they would have actually sculpted the figure like this, where there's no pot belly, there wouldn't have been any way for the top piece of the torso to actually scratch it, which, I don't know, it's just kind of a frustrating design choice. It kind of ruins how it looks over here, like in a profile shot, and it also leaves open paint scratching and chipping, so that kind of sucks. Overall, like the shoulders are, if you just look at the arms and legs without the torso though, they look pretty good. The legs are nice, the shoulders are nice, the arms are kind of small, but you can actually just kind of see here, compared to this old Goku figure, that the arms are pretty small. But I think it might be more in line with how they engineered him to actually put on the crossed arms, because his arms do come off. You can see here. And I think that this just makes it easier for them to like peg in, but I don't know. I still think they could have done something else a lot more easily. But I think overall, the blue is nice and matte. The armor is a bit of a satin, semi-gloss finish. Paint is matte. Hair is nice. The finish and stuff is obviously going to be a bit more of a premium finish than standard action figures that are like within $20 and stuff, which is why this figure is actually more expensive. So I would expect these things to be present, but it does have a few issues with it. But now going on to the articulation, we'll start with the head and the problems it causes. You can see right here that his ponytail is always going to interfere, so there's almost no way to get his head to look up higher than that. You can try to arc his back a bit, but the torso joint barely works, so that's as best as you're going to do. The head can look down. Watch out for the face splitting. Not that far, but not terrible. And since it's on a, I'll just show you. It's on a ball hinge. Just focus. It's on a ball hinge, so you would have to like rotate it around like this in order to get some tilt out of it. And that could work. Let me put the face back on and see if it looks decent. Yeah, it works pretty good. So the tilting is pretty good, but it's kind of over-engineered and stupid. They could have just made it a double ball peg, but whatever. He does have also ball peg in the neck. It also moves around a bit, so that's okay. Shoulders do a full rotation. Shoulder blades go outwards. It looks kind of ugly, but you're probably not going to look at it from this angle. for rotation. Shoulders go up that far. There's a ball peg also in there that allows for some adjustment posing. You can like shift his shoulders up and stuff. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, but not really that much range. It's okay though. Wrists are on a ball hinge, that's okay. Now onto this part. I actually even tried modifying this figure because there's like a slight mod you can do where you just clip off a small piece of plastic in the torso to make him supposedly get more range, but since this figure looks hideous whenever you try to articulate the torso, it's kind of pointless. It doesn't really break your figure or anything, it just allows this hinge in here to go forwards more, but it barely works, and you can extend his torso like this to make him look very stupid. It's very over-engineered and it barely works anyways. You can kind of tilt him like that, kind of tilt him like that. You can't really crunch forward without getting a really bad gap in the back, elongating his torso. And going back is okay, but like I said, it's kind of stupidly sculpted, over-engineered, and a bad sculpt over there. He does have a ball peg at the bottom of his torso, around where his pelvis is. That's not his legs moving, this is a ball peg. Rotation, both rotate. This one kind of goes up and down pretty well, so you can get him crunching down a bit more and working back a bit more, but the head barely works, so what's the point? Legs go forwards, they go all the way back. That's pretty good. The thighs are not very good. You can see here that one's kind of going out further than the other, and the hips are just running into all this, all these, like, I don't know what to call it, plastic mechanism pieces. And then they have these unsightly hinge like things. They go into the leg and they come out. I don't know really what they're there for. I'm gonna bring up the Vegeta again. You can see here that he just has standard hinges without any of those problems, and the pelvis doesn't look so mechanical with it also being like flush. You can go forwards, backwards, maybe not all the way like Trunks, but he's able to do full splits like this. I would prefer this rather than having to deal with all these extra bits, but whatever. Thigh swivel, double joints and knees are good. And the ankles are kind of also stupid. It's a double ball peg. I can pop it off. You can see here, it's just a very small double ball peg. And the feet are shaped in an odd way, so you can make it move forward by shifting it back, and you can kind of dislocate the foot and do that, but you can't really put it downwards. It only goes down that far, and the pivot is not very good at all, so that's kind of a bummer. The toe hinge is whatever, it's not very useful because this guy isn't very dynamic. There's kind of just like a problem with how this torso functions. It's just, it always just wants to extend whenever you want to move it. And of course, like I said, you can also run into like the torso paint getting chipped off. So I don't know, kind of disappointing with the articulation. I expect figures to have good articulation if it's part of this line. And it's like this figure has terrible articulation. It just has articulation that just doesn't work. It's just more incompetency with whatever the engineers are doing. They're not really thinking it through, so they just over-engineer it and in turn make a figure that has less functionality than other figures. Like I'll show you Goku right now. His torso just kind of works, like it actually just moves around. It doesn't want to hyperextend or do anything strange like Trunks is. It's just there. It might be the same kind of joint too, but at least this one actually kind of works. This one barely works, so it's kind of a bummer in that regard, but like the figure is not terrible, it's just kind of disappointing with how the engineering doesn't really help it. But yeah, anyways, those are my thoughts about the figure. Tell me what you think about it. All feedback is welcome. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you in the next review. Peace.